on Tuesdays.
Hey, we are back for all you action figure and toy enthusiasts out there. It is Alternate Heads, Season Deuce. And
Deuce!
yes.
Wait.
Well, it's 2. Anyway, thanks for joining us for another action-packed hour of plastic crap that we collect. Anyway, I am Jason the X. Brothers on the table, we've got Bryce. We've got Near. How you boys doing?
Good. Busy. Tired.
Y'all didn't collect anything while we were gone, though, right?
Not a thing.
Nope.
Okay.
This show is not for
Just
kids
making
ages
sure.
under 13.
Noted. Because it ain't.
We're glad to be back. Thanks for
shit.
watching.
I hope you missed us.
I know of course they missed us. Come on. They
Bryce-
better. They all better
Bryce
have missed
did-
us.
Bryce said for an entire month that he did not miss any of you.
That's just mean.
I mean, there were most of you I missed. There were a couple.
The ones that keep stalking him outside of his house, like that, you had to get blackout curtains because of that. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I
There
did.
was that Patreon idea.
diamond tier.
Yes, and we did just pass the holidays. I hope that the Santa fairies or whatever were good to y'all on the toys that you received for this holiday season.
Buddy the Elf delivered a couple to me.
They're good. I enjoyed Christmas.
Worked out really well.
I think Christmas worked out for me. Anyway, so like we always start out in this show, let's go into some new acquisitions. This is going to be probably long because it's been a little bit.
It's actually surprisingly still not that long because
I think we just passed over a couple things.
that was the big thing about that we were taking the break anyway, was because it was such a dead air moment, and it was tough. Like me and you were talking about how we were like finally getting over the addiction of Marvel Legends, and then the moment some hit, I was like, I need more 6-inch plastic. Give them to me.
And with that, I'm going to start with Bryce while you calm your ass down. Bryce, what are we looking at on the table over here, buddy?
We got some 8-inch fantastic retro cloth. That's beautiful in so many ways. Check it out, gang. This is a plethora of goodies.
Somebody's been spending over here.
Well, actually, these are all Christmas gifts for my friends. So actually didn't spend any money on any of these, but these
good.
are all
Then when
wonderful.
one goes missing, it'll be fine.
No, we can't have that.
Yes, we've seen a couple of these in your news stories, but yeah, go right ahead, buddy.
Yeah. So we're going to start with a limited edition Man of Steel resurrection figure.
It's good to see something that was presented as news. Finally here, live and in living color.
Yeah, it's really cool. I really like it. This came actually with 2 different head sculpts,
You got the good one.
and I did get the good one. This is the updated sculpt, not the one from the original Superman figure made by Mego in the 70s. So this is a good-looking figure, and we've got I have not opened it yet, as you can see, but I really like what I'm seeing here. I like the card art, and I really like the execution of the figure. I think it looks fantastic, and it's limited edition, guys. So get it while you can. From FTC, what you're looking at next to Kal-El is his cousin, and she is adorned in her screen print costume. Which this is something I've been wanting to have. Supergirl was originally released by Mego in the 70s in the costume like this, just like this. This is a hard to get item these days, from as far as if you were trying to track down a vintage screen printed Supergirl. So FTC remade this. I have not been able to track down one vintage wise, so this is as close as I'm going to get. So I'm really happy this. Well, I'm hoping it looks better out of package, but
I don't like what they're doing with the hair in the package, by the way. You just need to open up one of these right now.
right now?
No, go, keep going.
Oh, okay.
Open it
Yeah.
in the show.
Yeah, she's. But I'm just know that I'm really happy to have this because I have a couple of others that were screen printed by Mego in the day, and those are vintage, but this one is not. But I'm really happy that FTC made it. Coming up next, we have somebody who can belt out of tune. Black Canary, she is finally getting her first retro cloth figure ever. And I thought FTC did a bang-up job on this costuming. And the figure, I think, couldn't really have been done much better, except for maybe if the jacket could have been slightly bigger, but that's just a little quibble. I'm very happy with what I'm seeing here, including the necklace, the choker. Choker, yeah. Very happy that they included that, and I really like the fact that it looks like she's actually doing her canary cry. I'm happy with that. So kudos to FTC. They made this DC fan very happy by releasing some good product here. On to Nightwing. This is a variation of the 80s disco Nightwing. It's the same head sculpt.
But that's my favorite suit that Nightwing.
Yes, Nightwing's one of my favorite DC characters, so that's the one that might go missing.
Yeah, this is the suit I like.
Yeah, I really love this. It's simple and very effective in its design. They didn't need to do much to do it. I often wondered why they didn't release this a couple of years ago or more.
No, this one's supposed to be like vintage style. Does he have his mullet?
No, he doesn't have the mullet on that figure. He grew out of it.
Yeah. I don't believe he has the mullet.
I like non-mullet Nightwing, but I mean, there's something to be said about rocking that too.
Yeah, right. Also, we have Hawkman, which I am very pleased with the head sculpt on this. I could not be happier with Hawkman.
Do accessories come with these guys?
No, not with Hawkman nor Nightwing. Sorry. No accessories, unfortunately. Hawkman needs a mace.
I've got all the powers of a hawk and a man.
Yeah. Carter Hall, I think, looks really good. I love the detailing on the boots. They could have done what Mego did back in the day and just left them plain red, but they didn't. So I'm very happy that they put the detailing on that.
A little claw design, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's much needed and appreciated. The only thing for me that's coming up short is I don't like the wings. I don't like the design. I wish they would have done something different, more of a plastic mold.
They're very flappy, especially like under our fan here.
Yeah, I don't like the design, so I will be replacing those wings and doing something totally different. I will be customizing that. Yes. Oh. I already have some actually in hand. I just haven't had the chance to do it yet. So I will be changing that up. But kudos to what appears to be a lot like the Superpowers 1980s Hawkman sculpt. It's a really good sculpt for the figure. I could not be happier about the sculpt. Also, we have the Super Friends Black Manta, which is not a new figure. It's been released some time ago, but I now own it. I had the Mattel Retro Black Manta, but now I have the official Super Friends cartoon Black Manta, which I'm very pleased to have. I really like it. I think it's cool. And last but not least, we have we have the Attorney at Law, Birdman. Yes.
I got to step back from my microphone.
I know.
This is cool. Birdman. I'm hoping this series will be extended and release other characters. They are doing a couple of others, but we don't know how long the line will go.
I reject that figure.
Why do you reject it?
Because he does not have his true power. The power of attorney. No.
And Jason wonders why we're trying to get him off of these shows.
Until we get the suit wearing Birdman, you can get rid of that.
It's coming. That's my prediction.
Okay.
It's coming.
I've learned to not question Bryce's predictions anymore.
Damn, he was right.
And we'll get into that. We will get into that for sure. Yeah, FTC loves their variants, so we are going to get.
I honestly like the FTC over Mego. Honestly, I love their head sculpts better.
Well, they do cost more,
of course,
but you got more licensing involved sometimes with some of these characters. DC and Warner Brothers aren't cheap. Neither is Hanna-Barbera, but FTC hits a home run with all these Hanna-Barbera figures, whether it's Birdman or the Galaxy Trio or the Super Friends or the Scooby-Doo. They're all great. I love them all. So kudos to FTC. Job well done. And I'm very happy with my FTC Christmas goodies that I got under my tree.
Cool. Is that it for acquisitions?
That's it for my acquisitions.
All right.
Thank you, Santa Claus.
Nate, if you could finish off with the Spider-Man wave so I can just move into mine then.
Got it.
Cool.
So, I mean, I've got tons of stuff clearly on the table as well. Jason and I, like always, do cross gather, I guess you could say. We get the same stuff with some few exceptions here and there. I'm going to go ahead and start off with the one that's clearly the odd man out, but clearly one of the better ones is I finally found the 3/4 inch Peely made by Jazzware. So my banana family is complete.
He's beat me on all of them. I hate him so much.
I have the McFarlane, I have the Jazzware 6-inch, and I have the 3/4 inch. I actually found the pop version of Peely as well, but I decided to pass on that one for the time being. I buy pops, but I couldn't get myself to buy a Fortnite pop. Like, I'm buying Fortnite figures. You can't get me to get everything. So I went ahead and I did pick up the 3/4 inch Peely. It's adorable. It's exactly what I thought. And it's the first 3/4 inch figure I've bought in a while. So that says a whole lot. And we'll get back to that here in a little bit,
I'm actually interested in that figure myself.
It's good to have a big family of bananas. I can tell you that much. Now, other things that I finally got. We finally got a hold of the NECA Terminator 6-inch Dark Fate figures. So we got.
Where'd you procure yours from?
So I got mine from Dallas Vintage Toys.
Okay.
They sell them, when it comes to those type of figures, they sell them around the same price as they normally do on retail. I will say that they are officially hitting shelves retail now as well. I have found at least the T800 at Targets, at certain NECA areas. This has been like, I love these figures. They look amazing. They feel great. My Sarahs are a little bit tight in some of the joints, but that's okay. I would rather have it tighter than too loose.
I turn that arm and that instant feeling of, uh-oh.
Might break this. But I would rather have it too tight than too loose, so it works out. It works out.
That's it in the show. We're done.
All right. Season 2 was off to a good start.
Oh, well,
canceled it.
Well, we lasted all of about 12 minutes there, boys.
Demonetizing in 3, 2, 1.
YouTube be merciful to us. Anyway.
So we did finally get them, and that says a lot because those figures were supposed to come out in September of 2018. And I waited and nothing showed up in September. It said it on their website. They said, yep, September is what it's going to be. And then I tried to message them and they said, it's going to be a little while. Then they said October. And then they were like, you know what? It's going to be November because sometimes we push things out. I didn't grab these until the beginning of the year. They were like the first things I grabbed this year. And now that it's almost February, they're starting to hit shelves 5 months after an initial release date. They're not worth waiting that long, but I love Terminator. It's one of my favorite movie franchises, so of course I had to get them. But it's so sad knowing we're not going to get any of the other ones based off of how that the movie performed, and that makes me upset because I would have loved to have the Rev 9 and I'll just move on.
And I honestly like that movie. I don't care.
It was a good movie.
I liked it too.
It even said, like, even if you look it up, most people liked the movie. I don't know why it didn't perform well, but we move on. Now we officially go into let's go McFarlane, since that's kind of where it went. I did go ahead and get, and even though he fell, and I know that we have different ways of shooting, I did find the McFarlane Bloodshot figure for the new Vin Diesel movie that's coming out. I don't like it. I don't. Like, I'm glad I got it because it looks okay, but even with McFarlane's new articulation scheme, like it's got some bad points to it. Like the arms just won't go down. So he looks like he's ready to either fight or to get like a hug. Yeah. Like I'm not quite sure what he wants, but it's not terrible. It's just not worth it. I'll say it this way. GameStop is charging $27 for this figure. I got it when they were doing a special, like, yeah, I got it during a special promotion that they got. So I only paid $20 like a normal figure. Yeah. So I managed to get it on sale. So I didn't have to pay the full price. If it had been normal price, I wouldn't have gotten it at all.
His arms look like they go down to me.
No, they don't go down to the side.
Yeah, nobody sits with their arms like that.
Yeah, I'm not like this.
Okay.
I sit, I have my hands
Okay.
strictly against me, but I'm okay with having it. I'm okay if you get it. It's just not my favorite McFarlane, especially now that we have the new DC McFarlane wave is out. Uh, my thoughts on it. I cannot speak. It's probably all the water that I got shot with.
Oh, quit whining. That was like a week ago.
Future episodes. The new DC McFarlane wave finally came out, and man, they dropped the images for those like the moment it turned to the new year, and Mattel lost those license.
That was
like,
quick. Them hit the shelves.
It was, and they were supposed to come out. They're technically not out yet. Some of the figures are supposed to be street dated until
yet they're here
on like the 19th, as I think when it's officially supposed to be. But you can't find the whole wave yet, which is ridiculous. I passed on all the animated figures because they look good. They look like they came off the screen. They're just proportions are wonky in plastic form, so I'm not gonna go for them. I did pick up the Harley Quinn. I do not have it here. I have a love-hate relationship with that figure too because I
don't like that
figure. It's like they fused the animated stuff with the comic stuff, and
she has a fart face.
It looks okay. I actually don't mind it.
She farted, silent but deadly, and she's laughing about it.
Well, she's Harley Quinn, so that's okay. But I'm okay with the figure itself, but I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do, which was pick and choose. So I bought Batman today, actually. Target tried to not sell it to me, so they gave me gift cards, and then I went to Walmart and they sold it to me. So, I mean, no big deal. So, but I got Batman, and you got to get Batman when you're getting any of them. Batman is by far not my favorite character in the DC universe, but if you're going to buy DC figures, you have to at least own one Batman. And it's okay. Its proportions are wonky. They feel like McFarlane figures. I'll say it that way. They don't feel like Hasbro's type of plastic.
It's not necessarily a good thing.
They feel like McFarlane figures. They move like McFarlane figures. They're not all bad. The Superman is phenomenal, in my opinion. I think that Superman looks great. The proportions are awesome. The cape looks awesome.
Yeah.
Like, Superman is one of my favorites for toy-wise. They even came with a flight stand on it, so you could pose him in a flight pose.
Why
which
aren't
was really
you doing
cool.
that today?
I forgot the flight stand.
Great.
So we have the flight stand, and like I honestly do love the Superman. So it's a good, solid figure. I'm still looking for Green Arrow. I'm still looking for Nightwing, but to be honest, those are probably the last two I'm going to pick up in this entire first wave. I like them. They're okay, but like I said, they're McFarlane. And I'll talk more about McFarlane later. But if we move over into DC still, I finally got the amazing Yamaguchi Revoltech Harley Quinn. And I got to say, I love this figure.
I got to take a closer look at that one.
Like, this Harley Quinn is amazing. I pre-ordered this thing the moment its solicitations went up. I have never owned an amazing Yamaguchi figure in my life. So I figured this looked good enough that I wanted to go ahead and give it a try. So I put the money down for amazing Yamaguchi, and they did not disappoint. If all of the figures are like this, I cannot wait for the My Hero Academia figures to come out.
Her eyeballs are posable.
So, yes. So what it is like all of the amazing Yamaguchi figures come with this little tool that when you take the head off, it sticks into the eyes in the back, and you can adjust them to go wherever you want them to look.
That is changing the game.
It's great.
We've seen it with a couple of figures.
It bothers me a little bit, but only because I'm a perfectionist when it comes to the eyes. So I was sitting there forever going, you're not looking straight. But apparently the My Hero Academia figures won't do that.
My hands are way too big to have the patience to do that, by the way.
With My Hero Academia, apparently they're going to just come with separate eyes that you can take out. But I will say that when I got that figure and I opened it up, I sent you a picture of what it looked like.
And I was like, wow, she's cockeyed.
Yeah, it looks stupid. But then I got it out and I was like, this poses really well. Plus the effects with that are on the hammer that says whoosh. It's like, this is great. I do love this figure. So I'm excited. I will not be collecting every amazing Yamaguchi. Obviously, this isn't going to be like, oh, I found a new addiction, I got to get it. But I have respect, and I'm happy I picked this one up. If we go into Hasbro, which is now our shared area, I did find both waves, the new waves that were supposed to come out. So I pre-ordered the Spider-Man wave, and that wave came in perfectly. I got it in. I loved it. It came with the two Spider-Mans, Vulture, Superior Spider-Man, White Rabbit, which is very delicate. And it also came with, who's the last one? Shang-Chi. That Shang-Chi is legitimately amazing. Both waves suffer from the same problem of giving us a tiny normal-sized figure as the Build-A-Figure. But unlike the Fantastic Four wave, this Demo Goblin is amazing. I love this figure.
I do too.
So I do like the Demo Goblin. White Rabbit, I mean, it's a White Rabbit figure. Seriously. What?
He came out of nowhere.
Did not see that coming. The Shang-Chi is the best figure of the line. Followed up quickly by Vulture, who is the first figure to have liver spots.
Yeah, I do like the Vulture. I know you don't like them, but I really like the Spider-Man in the entire wave as well.
I don't care about it.
The Velocity Suit one is my favorite. I love the game. The Velocity Suit was an original idea, so if I can get more suits from the Spider-Man series than that are sculpted like this, because that's the big thing about this figure is it has a whole lot of sculpted detail into it that most Spider-Mans just kind of paint over. Like the first PS4 Spidey that we got, I wish they had sculpted this in.
Here's my main problem with those two figures. They are different heights.
Yes, they are. That was the thing. I thought I was going to like the other Spider-Man more, but he's got some Toy Biz problems where it's just straight up and down, and with the wide gap in the middle of the legs. Like, still not a bad figure. I love the webbing accessories that came with it.
They're pretty good.
Instead of giving us the standard webs, they gave us spider traps, like so you could actually wrap it around the person, and you can put one on the face, like he just shot you in the face.
I need that.
Those are pretty solid. Those are probably my new favorite accessories because I love Spider-Man, and that was brilliant.
If you find any of those loose, please let me know.
I also did get the Fantastic Four wave. I had that pre-ordered, and everybody got their pre-orders, and I didn't. But then I canceled my pre-order because I decided to go toy hunting for the first time in a while. And I actually found the wave after my third Target that day, which was lucky because I was about to give up on toy hunting because I just don't have the time anymore. I have a new job. I'm ready to do some other stuff. But I like the new wave, but I own most of these figures already thanks to the Walgreens release that they did. And while I love that they did some new stuff, like they gave us a new thing with an alternate head, but the thing doesn't have the wash on it that the original one did. So it's just not as striking to me.
Right.
It's a good, solid figure, and I'm glad that this wasn't the Build-A-Figure because they could have totally gone that route, but they didn't. Instead,
she was taller. Bigger.
No. Okay. Most iterations of the thing don't generally have him as too overly large. He's not like the Hulk, but he can fight with the Hulk, which I liked.
Right.
Mr. Fantastic's okay. I have a small paint defect where only half of him is gray. The other half looks like he's a younger man. And the fingers they gave Mr. Fantastic were weird. I don't like that effect. The thing is since it's the same body, you can still pull his arms off and swap them with the other arms, but because the costumes aren't the same color, they don't match.
I don't know how much of a fan, because I've actually passed up the Fantastic Four, mainly because I spent a lot of money. But
I love this way. Like, I love the Fantastic Four in general.
I did get Doom. The Doom is fantastic.
The Doom is a phenomenal figure.
I really like it.
Invisible Woman's the exact same. I like the idea of having a Johnny Storm as opposed to having just a normal Human Torch, which was cool. I kept the flame effects on him because it just makes more sense. The She-Hulk, I surprisingly liked more than I thought I was going to.
Yeah, I think I need the She-Hulk.
She-Hulk is solid, but Super Skrull, man, he was just as difficult to put together as the Demo Goblin was. I don't know why he was so difficult to put together. I had the problem with the legs and the head. They just didn't want to go on. The legs were my problem with the Super Skrull, and while I like the effects the Super Skrull came with, again, too small of a figure. Like, we were supposed to get this as another Walgreens thing, and we didn't. But, I mean, I do like it. And if you put them side by side with the Toy Biz one, the Toy Biz one looks like absolute garbage next to this one. So I'm very happy with the wave overall. Like I said, I love the fact that we have that Doctor Doom now. Which, by the way, if you have the infamous Doctor Doom and you have the Von Doom head, that'll work.
Oh, cool.
So that's pretty neat. I'm going to keep mine exactly like that. But I mean, I loved it. I'm glad to have Marvel Legends again. I can't wait till March when we can get the MCU Black Widow wave.
Does his weapon come out of the holster?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a tiny gun, as Cass was saying. So, but Doom has never needed more.
It's true.
So, up to mine, yeah, we did. We share that Spider-Man wave. I'll probably get the Fantastic Four wave maybe a little bit later. I'm most proud about the two Masterpiece Transformers I got. The green guy over there, that is Hound, He is now replacing a third-party Transformer that I had, Make Toys Gundog. This is a far superior figure. Little light. Gonna go ahead and say it's a little light, not a lot of die cast, but I like the feel of the figure. The transformation is good, and it looks good. It's got a very good profile. Also, the yellow guy there, Sunstreaker, I passed up that guy when he first came out, and he sold out so quick. I'm glad they did a re-release of him. Jumped on that, was able to procure him. And officially, this puts me at every mainline Transformers Masterpiece release that's not like a repaint or recolor or something. Except one. I need one more. And granted, it's a repaint, but it is necessary. I have Starscream and I have Skywarp. Of course, they share a mold, but they share different colors. On the show, they were 3 different entities. I do not have Thundercracker. I need Thundercracker.
Well, of course you do.
To complete. And I'm there. I'm almost there. So.
Are you salivating?
I'm a little bit. I didn't realize, I've got every mainline Masterpiece release.
It was funny because you were bragging about that when I first came over when we were recording a different show. You should watch that when it comes out, by the way. Nerds with Coffee, cool, loved it. But you were talking about it, but then did you just realize that you were missing one?
Yes.
Because you looked at me dead in the face and went, I'm so sad that I have to move this other character off the shelf. But, at least I now officially own every Transformer. And I was like, good for you, man. Good for you.
And now it was like, no, you don't.
But now now that he's only one away, he's just itching. He's like, you know what?
So now and this is not going to be easy. So we're gonna have to I'm gonna pop some bubbly when I get Thundercracker. Which also one of the worst names for Transformers. Just go ahead.
That's when he finds out he's actually missing 2, and they're about to announce a new one.
Yeah, right.
That's okay. I can keep up now. But also, I did get some custom stuff, and one of the things I was always displeased about was the Marvel Legends Beast head, the strictly just roaring one. Well, I did find an eBay seller. He goes by the Collector's Place on there, and he had some custom Beast heads, and they actually sent 3. They have removable glasses. I'm just going to show that off for the camera there. More of that 90s cartoon look Beast, which I'm fine with. But yeah, this was a necessary release instead of and it's a little bit off color, as Near was saying, considering with the roaring face from Beast. Let me get up.
From here, it looks really good.
That's the thing, though. That's what I pointed out to him is while the colors don't match, when you have him on the shelf, you can't see a difference.
No.
I can't see it from here. You cannot see that they're 2 different shades. You'll probably be able to tell. But you can tell up close.
And the other thing, I got some custom weaponry. A seller that I've used before, Ly Sloan on eBay. He has a new weapons pack out, and I thought, because the one thing about Marvel Legends, they reuse guns all the time.
Good God. And they're not even realistic guns.
This one was his latest mold, and I thought it was perfect to give to Deadpool. Got a scope. It's a nice BFG.
That is.
I like that. He also has another original mold, this kind of futuristic shotgun kind of thing. We'll get up there. And granted, these are all 3D printed, but some of them are original design. He's actually got Falcon's guns here with a silencer on there. But if I really wanted to, I could cut that silencer off, and there's Falcon's guns. So, yeah, got a little bit of custom stuff. I dig it, man. The best pickup that I've had, and it trumps all of your pickups. None of your collections this week compare.
It's the My Hero Academia variant. All Might! Yeah!
Shut your dirty whore mouth. Anyway, it is the 7-inch NECA Bob Ross. I love this figure. I found it in a local comic shop, which I won't name because I think they kind of overblow the prices a bit. But it was at cost.
You can find them at Targets now, by the way, too.
This is before I didn't see them at Targets.
I'm just saying you can find them now.
But this is a great figure with the easel. I'm happy to have it. The clothing looks good on the guy. And there's a little detail on there that Bryce and I noticed. We were filming our run-through for SNS Live. But his left hand, the pointer finger, is shorter than all of his other fingers. And we noticed it at first. Is that a defect? But it was molded.
Molded that way because that's the way he is in real
We
life.
looked it up. I did not know that he was missing part of his pointer finger.
That's right.
And he always hit it on the show. So that was an interesting detail for NECA to throw in there.
Way to go, NECA.
I want to say that's not on purpose, but but you never know.
It's true.
I think it is on purpose.
I think that, hey, but it's a great figure. I love the accessories that comes with the brushes, the easel, and everything. So, yeah, you should all get Bob Ross. That's all there is to it.
I'm going to pass.
Go, whatever. Bryce, I know that's...
By the way, that's an 8-inch figure. You label it as a 7-inch figure, but it's actually 8-inch. It's exactly the same size as Mego and FTC.
Well, I guess Bryce is going to look for one of those.
Yeah, because it's the same body, basically, that you see used on Snake Plissken or any of the other NECA Halloween or horror releases that they generally put out. It's the same body.
Yeah. And with that, okay, so that completes my acquisitions, but I would like to, at this point, recognize our friend Bryce. And
do you have some crow real quick that we could eat?
I already had mine before the show. So, Bryce, I certainly hope this is on your list this week.
It most certainly is.
We'll start with Bryce.
Yeah.
Let's start it up.
My prediction that Betty White would get a figure before her 98th birthday came true. Came true. So there you go, America, and all foreign territories.
Stop dicking around and get to it. You jerk. I'm just mad he was right again.
Well, death has come to your little town, Sheriff. Guess what? Not only is Michael Myers coming from NECA, but Laurie Strode, which I have been asking for 6 months or 9 months or maybe longer.
Man, and there's several episodes where Jason and I say with absolute confidence that'll never happen.
Oh, man.
And I even said in one of our last episodes, if not the last episode of 2019, I said, it's coming in 2020. It's coming in 2020.
Which is funny because you said that as a joke, and I know you said it as a joke.
No, I figured it was coming.
Oh, wait, what's the saying of the joke?
The worst part is I know that this is your news segment, but I was the one who found the post first. And I found the post while I was at a job, and I was like, no. And I saved it. I sent it to us, and I was like, God, Bryce, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I answered. I was like, you got it.
And I'm just waiting for Bryce's response. I was like, is he going to grill us on it? Is he going to gloat? What's going to happen?
I didn't even bother gloating because I was so thrilled. I was overcome with joy.
He had a little bit of fanfare coming in there. Anyway.
I was so excited.
All right, tell us about these, though.
Yeah. Oh, geez. I mean, you want to talk about somehow doing the great workaround. NECA managed to somehow afford the license for Halloween retro cloth by buying the Halloween 2 licenses from the looks of those characters. Dr. Loomis, which I hadn't mentioned, which is another great score for NECA. Laurie Strode, you've got Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance, and they look fantastic.
I don't like the choice of clothing on Laurie.
Well, that's what you get because that's the way she was dressed in Halloween 2.
Okay.
So you're gonna have to customize it as you see fit if you want to have her as the babysitter, from the first Halloween
if
film.
We found out anything from just even me finding custom clothing to make my figure, you can do it. I get it. And I figured that was going to be one of the things that Bryce was going to complain about too, was the fact that he's not getting that. But you're right. In that movie, she was dressed like that the entire movie.
Yeah, that's all you're going to get. And I am perfectly okay with that because it's an affordable figure, and I'm finally getting my wish
and this
of
is a 2-pack.
Jamie Lee Curtis. It is. Yeah. Loomis and Strode is a 2-pack. And Distinctive Dummies did a custom Dr. Loomis many years ago that I own, but I think this version triumphs the Distinctive Dummies version. So I'm very happy to get this Loomis and Strode. This is going to make so many horror fans, Halloween fans happy, and I am
one of them.
I am certainly one of them. So thank you, NECA, and thank you to whoever owns Halloween 2, the rights to those likenesses.
Kudos.
Yes, well done. And the great thing about the Michael Myers figure, which I haven't even mentioned, from Halloween 2, which differs from the Halloween Michael Myers figure that we already have on shelves from the 2018 film. This Michael Myers has an alternate head. So you've got
Roll
the bloody.
credits.
I'm sorry.
I said roll credits.
Oh,
He said the title of the show. Yay!
yeah, right. So it's you've got the bloody and non-bloody version. And you've got the accessories. You've got 4 different weapons, a scalpel. You've got the knife. You've got the hammer, and you've also got the syringe. So these figures. Christmas is coming early for me when these are released. I believe they're coming in May. And the good thing is they're not overcharging you. These basically come in at regular price, like the regular figures. I always
thought that NECA's price point is fine.
Yeah, they're pretty average for.
Yeah, my only concern with getting a Jamie Lee Curtis figure in 2020, when I was thinking about this, in years prior and especially last year, I thought we might get charged a little bit more based on the licensing, but that's not the case. So it's fantastic.
Yeah, I think the only figure from them, especially the retrocloth ones that I thought were a little outrageous, was the Trick or Treat figure. But I mean, then you found yours at a
discount.
At a discount, so it worked out really well.
Yeah, it really did. Yeah. Okay. So keeping with the NECA theme, let's go with the Rhino figure that is basically a tribute to the Kenner line.
I love those.
Yeah. So they showed packaging and out of packaging profile of the Rhino. NECA did in late December, and this looks pretty cool. I like the look of the Rhino. I don't do a lot of the Kenner tribute figures, but this one looks different enough that I might be wanting to get this. It looks pretty cool. I like it. I'm not sure when it's coming out, but I know it's coming out this year. On to let's go to the.
You're getting that Rhino figure, by the way, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I really want to see that one in hand.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get that. Yeah, for sure. Okay, so NECA just yesterday announced the Ultimate Alpha Predator 100th edition figure. Well, didn't announce it, but showed pictures, I should say. And wow, is this impressive? This is the 100th Predator figure, and this is an original design and concept by NECA, the Alpha Predator. So, wow.
Give me this movie.
Right? It's an homage to the original 1987 Predator film design. It's going to be 30 points of articulation, entirely new sculpt with removable mask, hook, gauntlets, and 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. I know.
Also, I like that his weapons seem very organic.
Barbaric?
Huh?
I was gonna go with barbaric.
Yeah, like he doesn't seem to have the same tech that the other Predators are using. Like,
right.
Is this like, Predators of the Old Republic or something here?
It's amazing. Yeah, and by the way, the artwork is going to be done by Jason Edmiston, who has done a lot of horror artwork for Mondo and NECA. And I forgot to mention that he also did the packaging that's coming, and I sent you a picture in the chat of the Michael Myers packaging that's coming in May, which is really awesome. So I sent that in the chat. So with the wrist blades, the staff, and the shuriken, this reimagined Predator looks like a lot of fun that's coming in June. Very happy that they decided to do this figure because it looks very menacing. I love the bones.
Yeah.
Love the low tech, like you mentioned. Okay, moving on to something else that NECA does a lot of variants of, but I still very much enjoy, would be the ultimate flasher gremlin. This is one of my favorite gremlins that I've seen them release.
Once again, this show is not for kids under the age of 13.
I love that, and he's got the cigarette in his teeth.
Right. Yeah. I think this figure's a lot of fun. Between the visor and the mallet and the puppet and the beer. I don't know. This figure has a lot going for it. The bow tie.
I feel bad for Gremlins collectors. They have to be figure builders, you know, like army builders. I mean,
right? Yes, yeah. There are a lot of them. I don't know how many.
Not just
yeah. Once again, I want to do a shout out to Jason Edmiston, great artist. He's doing the new artwork for this package as well. I really like Jason's artwork. Well, and other than that, I guess we can shift gears to FTC. And FTC is doing a variant. Speaking of variants, we came from the Gremlins. Now we'll talk about the Hanna-Barbera Scooby-Doo variants from That Snow Ghost. You've got a new Velma in winter clothing, and also the Shaggy in his festive winter clothing variant with earmuffs. So that's kind of cool. For so you can better build your Christmas display at home.
The Velma hair seems off. Like this is a good looking figure. It's a cute figure, but it doesn't look like Velma.
Well, I mean, I
think it's just the hair.
You think it's too long, or
yeah, it looks a little too long. Maybe that's it.
It's just not a good translation from screen to plastic. It looks good. Like that,
I'll give it that. It looks
like
good.
it honestly does look good, but that's what's throwing you off is just like if you look at the Shaggy one, you have the clear definition lines that they have drawing on them.
Right.
Velma's, while they're there, they're not there like they were drawn. They were sculpted in. So that's what it looks like. Is it looks like it's trying too hard to be realistic instead of cartoony, and that's why Velma looks different.
Well, I'm hoping it looks better in hand.
I mean, it looks good there,
but I like it. I think I'd be happy with it. So two new reveals by FTC that they are going to be developing and releasing sometime. We don't know when exactly. It's just, production art right now that they're going to be putting into a manufacturing process. They've got John Constantine, which is going to be his first ever retro action figure. FTC just released that information on Friday, which we taped this on Saturday, so that was yesterday. And that was so all FTC has to do is come up with a sculpt for that because they have the clothing already. And then also, since CW did the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover, it makes perfect sense. I don't know if it was synchronized for that, but it probably was. FTC is going to be making the Monitor from the classic Marv Wolfman, George Perez run on DC Comics. So we're going to get not the CW version, but the comic book version from the 80s of the Monitor. And I'm happy that this is being made because that was a landmark comic book event.
It was.
Yep. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that they do more figures from that particular miniseries because it was so important to DC Comics. And if I know the people at FTC, like I think I do, who are big fans of the 70s and 80s versions of DC characters, I have no doubt we'll be seeing more versions of comic book characters.
FTC, please don't give him more to hold over our heads. Thank you.
We're going to get more. That's my prediction. I can't say.
I'm just going to be ambiguous with my answers. Like, that may never come.
Yeah. You guys owe me an apology for Laurie Strode.
Oh, sure, you'll get it. Anyway,
I'm still waiting.
Spoilers.
Still waiting.
I guess. Do you want to go or do you want me to go?
You can go.
Okay.
For the viewers at home, I'm still waiting.
So we got a lot of news. We tried not to go too far back because toy news is always going to happen every week, but we got a few things coming. We'll start with 1,000 Toys. 1,000 Toys went ahead and showed off Ape Sapien from Hellboy.
Pre-order.
Pre-order is up. You can get it at most places, but if I'm not mistaken, I want to say I don't remember which one it was. I want to say it was Big Bad Toy Store, but you can officially get a 2-pack of either both Hellboy and Ape Sapien, or I think you can get a 2-pack of Rasputin and Ape Sapien. Problem with Rasputin is it's exactly what we thought, where it's a really pretty traffic cone where there's basically no movement, which I guess is fine per se. I mean, if I'm being honest, if I had these figures posed on shelves, I would probably pose Rasputin the same way that they're giving them to me, but that gives me a lack of option to pose him. Like,
well, it's not going to be much of an option anymore because they are officially sold out.
Well, doesn't matter. I didn't pre-order mine, so I'll just cry in a corner later.
I'm pretty sure you'll be able to get it.
Oh, probably. It'll show up somewhere. But, I mean, that's the good thing is Ape Sapien looks good. Not much more I can say about it. We've seen it a while, but the big news there was that you could get it with Rasputin. There are a few things that also came out that we have a good look at. One thing that I did pre-order is the new Mezco Spider-Man Far From Home Night Monkey, or Stealth Suit Spider-Man. Looks really good. I own the Homecoming version, and I'm on a wait list for Far From Home's upgraded suit, but this one looks really good. I really liked the stealth suit. It was a very good looking suit, especially for what it was. And that Tom Holland head looks really good.
Yeah.
So I did join the pre-order list for that one. I'm very excited. I can't wait to get that. But I don't think it comes out until like later this year. I want to say May or June, something like that. But so we've got a bit to go. But it looks really good. And this is one of those things where Mezcos are basically the only like cloth good figures that I own. And now that I'm getting a new display case, it's definitely the option for now where I can put more Mezcos on there. So I'm excited about this new one. We did finally get some more announcements. If we want to stick with the Mezco front, we are getting and it's sold out. You've lost your chance if you wanted it. But we are getting the Batman 1989 edition Michael Keaton, which looks good. It did look good. I didn't go for it. I heard there were a lot of site problems where like missed payments or PayPal issues or people having pre-ordered it and then it got canceled somehow. But yeah, you look very upset.
It costs too much money.
It does. It runs for $110.
And I don't understand that hike up on this one.
It's got a lot to go with it. We most likely think that it's going to get the bigger price point because of both the likeness from the actor mixed with that it has interchangeable faceplates. So I think you can change out the
really?
mouthpieces.
It just says interchangeable heads on here.
It may be. I may have heard wrong, but you get a ton of accessories. Obviously, tons of hands. You get the stand, a bunch of batarangs, and different gadgets.
You get the spear gun with the hook, collapsed gauntlet, and time bomb.
But it is sold out. So I mean, if you still want it, you can try to be on that wait list and hope to get it. But I didn't go for it. I don't get a whole lot of Mezcos, and that's not one that I was exactly hoping to own.
It's disappointing. It's that it costs that much. Maybe I'll wait for the Beetlejuice one.
Storm Collectibles did come forward and show another Mortal Kombat figure. I did not play a lot of Mortal Kombat as a kid. Basically none. So I know certain characters, but I don't know a lot of them. But they did go ahead and show that they are making a Raiden figure, which looks great. McFarlane came out a while back and started showing their Raiden, which I don't like the way it looks.
Well, considering you've gotten some of the other McFarlane,
I got Sub-Zero and I got Scorpion, and I'm not huge fans of the McFarlane versions of of Mortal Kombat figures. I won't be collecting any more of that line.
Storm collectibles are expensive.
That said, I did pre-order my first Storm collectible, and it was Sub-Zero. So hopefully, whenever that comes in a couple months, that would be really cool. But that was the first one I got, hoping to try those out. But you're right, Storm collectibles are expensive. They're like $80, $90. But this Raiden looks really good. And the best part about the Storm collectible figures is you get a lot of Mortal Kombat-esque death parts that come with it that are really cool.
Excuse me? They're called fatalities, sir?
They're death. Doesn't matter. They have a lot of cool pieces to them that I really like, but I probably won't pose my figures that way.
I was just robbing someone with a comment after the show
in the comments below. But Raiden looks cool. like I said, I don't know a whole lot. Sub-Zero was always my favorite because I was that vanilla generic kind of guy that liked playing the ice guy.
Everyone hated you.
But Raiden looks really good, and I might have to go for that one too. But I'm unsure. We'll see how it goes.
He looks like you stepped right off the soundstage from Big Trouble in Little China.
That was one of the big things, though, is like
Ooh.
McFarlane's figures, while they're hit or miss, the Raiden outfit they picked does not coincide with what I usually think of Raiden. This is what I usually think when someone says Raiden. So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal to me. So I'm excited for whenever my Storm collectibles comes in.
I'll take your effects pieces if you're not going to use them.
The next pieces that came out is we finally got our first look at Hasbro's 40th anniversary Empire Strikes Back figures. It's a lot of reuse. It's a lot of stuff that we already knew was coming because of the fact that that's what these are for. These are for people that missed out on them the first time around they came out, or they wanted some, like they liked the carded back. So it looks like we're getting Yoda. We are getting the AT-AT driver. I did say AT-AT. I stick by that, which is the one I'll probably pick up. We are getting Bespin Luke, Bespin Han, and Bespin Leia. So stuff that we've seen a lot. I will probably only be picking up Luke and the AT-AT driver. But I think Dagobah Luke is coming out too.
Every word enrages me. It's an AT-AT, you bastard.
No, the machine is AT-AT. I call this one AT-AT. So I'll be picking up those two figures, but I think that's the only thing that we haven't seen. But this picture was found by somebody. I don't remember who it was, but this was something overseas, which probably means that they're getting close to on their way. I bet around March is when we'll probably see these.
I'm just going to get the Yoda and de-age it so I can pose him next to my Mandalorian.
I kind of want the Yoda because of that Yoda. You know, does not look as good.
I mean, the Yoda does have updated phrase print technology, but we've gotten so many Yodas. I'm just gonna pass on that one.
I'm gonna pass too.
If we stick with good old fashioned Hasbro, we'll go ahead and move on to the new Black Widow Deluxe that was announced.
Oh boy!
So we talked about this a while back, where we made our guess of what was going to be in the Black Widow wave.
Mm-hmm.
I called it the entire wave, except for the Build-A-Figure. We never talked about it, so I will go ahead and give a brief mention that the Black Widow wave will be Black Widow in her black outfit, her sister, who's played by Florence Pugh. I don't remember the name of that character, and I'll never try to guess. MCU Red Guardian, MCU Taskmaster. We do get the comic version of Winter Soldier, Crossbones, and Spymaster with a Build-A-Figure Crimson Dynamo, which will probably be at the bottom of my Build-A-Figure 2020 list because it's basically like the Kree Sentry, and I didn't want it. But those will come out around March, but this went up for pre-order yesterday. So we film on Saturdays. So came up on Friday. The show's now come out on Tuesdays, but this particular figure is only $30. So it's still the standard 20 that you would normally get, but then you're getting a stand, you're getting a bunch of effect pieces.
I love the stand.
Yeah, the stand's cool. I love all the effect pieces that comes with. I'm looking very forward to having the bracer pieces that'll make it look like she's shooting, because I can put that with multiple Black Widows because I can only do like one. But they're really neat, and I'm very excited. I've already got mine pre-ordered. I'm very excited for this movie.
Sculpt looks really good on this one.
It does, especially considering the other ones they showed us for that previous Black Widow, that Black Widow wave. Good. I'm hoping it'll get improved, because if this is what that head sculpt looks like here, I'm hoping they'll fix the other ones.
Yeah, that looks really good. That's a really good likeness to Scarlet. I'm all in on that one.
Yeah, I pre-ordered and I'm ready to go. If we move on to more Hasbro, we of course got our official first look at Wave 4 of the Lightning Collection, which is going to, of course, composed of SPD Red Ranger, Zeo Blue Ranger, Mighty Morphin Yellow Ranger, and Beast Morpher Cyber Villain Blaze, which only further confirms the leak list.
A little bit of contention on some of these. Of course, that head does not look like Steve Cardenas. Zeo Blue does not look like him. He's even commented, "You really missed the likeness on this for me." So yeah, totally doesn't look like him. The SPD Red, the helmet is off. The helmet is off, and the fandom hates it. I know. I see your comments on Reddit. The V goes down a little bit too far, which I looked at and was like, small thing. Apparently not a small thing to most Power Ranger collectors.
My thing is I don't pose them with the helmet off anyway. Like if they're Power Rangers, they're going to be on the shelf as Power Rangers.
Right.
But like I'm very excited for this because, like I said before, this wave did a whole 180 on me where I went from I'm only going to pick up the original team to have to get them all. So I'm very excited for this next wave of Power Ranger figures.
I'm happy to get a Tui figure.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
We miss you, Tui Train. I'm glad you're getting her figure.
Now we just need to know we've already got confirmation of what Wave 5 is supposed to be as well. If I'm not mistaken, it's Ranger Slayer,
Time Force Red,
Mighty Morphin Blue, and then Zeo Gold.
Right.
Which I mean, I can just pass on Zeo Gold because I already have the Zeo Gold.
I got to get one with the correct foot.
So, I honestly forgot that one of my feet is on wrong. So
that we have the
right
feet between all of us.
We just keep forgetting, and I just haven't come to do the custom swap yet. I'll do it the next time I'm here.
Okay.
But I'm very excited for this wave. So that should come out end of February, early March, something like that. So
I'm thinking mid-February we're gonna start seeing.
Yeah, and then we should have Wave 5 later this year. I don't have any pictures for the next topic that I was going to talk about, which is we recently got an interview by JC by Todd McFarlane on upcoming stuff that we're supposed to be getting. It was an hour long. I watched the whole thing. There's some cool stuff that's supposed to be on their way. It gives us updates on certain lines that McFarlane was messing with. If we start off with DC, the first thing that we wanted to know is because they said that they were going to do anything from 6-inch to 9-inch figures, but it looks like they're going to definitely be staying within the 7-inch realm. That's their comfort zone. I'm very disappointed in that. They really should have gone 6-inch because that's what collectors were asking for, and they made a really huge deal about that we want to listen to what the fans want. So they're going to give us a little bit of everything from animated stuff to other versions of animated figures to CW to movie to comic book. They're going to keep picking and choosing based off what fans want, to the point where I think that starting with wave 2 or 3, they're going to start running polls and you will vote for what McFarlane figures you want them to make for DC, or whatever DC figures for McFarlane. So that's pretty cool that they're really interested in that. Like I said, I'm not very happy with the 7-inch line, especially with figures like how I have this All Might for scale. They're taller than All Might is, and that just seems wrong. But I wish that they had done 6-inch. I wish that they used a different form of plastic, but they're in their comfort zone. They're not going to get out of it. We just have to deal with it because that's what we're getting for DC. That's just what we have to deal with.
Do you predict failure?
No.
Cancellation, I mean.
No. I see McFarlane with it listening to fans. I see that it's going to really split the fan base because you're like me. I'm sitting here complaining that I don't have 6-inch figures and I have 7-inch that won't match any of my other stuff. And yet here I am buying them still. If you give me what I want, I'm still going to buy it, but I'm not happy about it. So we'll find out probably within the next 2 to 3 years. I guarantee you McFarlane's got a pretty tight handle on a lot of their DC stuff for now. They have a lot in the work, apparently. I don't like the vehicles that they tried to do because I'm not even going to try to complete those because when I ask for Build-A-Figures, I'm not asking for Hot Wheels, okay? I'm asking for actual figures, and McFarlane's not comfortable doing that, and I don't see them ever changing that. So
they had gone 6-inch, but no,
they didn't. They decided they wanted to go full on 7-inch, and that's just where they're going to stay. Still disappointed, but we move on. They updated us on other brands, so things like Harry Potter are supposed to be on their way. Harry Potter, they are still making other figures for it because of, I guess, popular demand. I think they've got some in production. One Punch Man appears to be canceled. They are not going to continue with One Punch. Fans aren't super asking for them, so we got that Saitama figure, and it looks like that's the only one we're going to be getting from that. My Hero Academia is, of course, still going. They have already announced Wave 2, which is going to be Tenya Ida, Kirishima, Ochako, and Todoroki, which is a little disappointing because I was expecting another teacher like Aizawa, but we didn't get that. But those will probably be seen around Toy Fair. So My Hero Academia is still a go. Game of Thrones figures look like they're going to be canceled as well. Like I was excited. I liked the Game of Thrones figures as well, but with the series being over and the whole backlash with the last season, as much as they want to continue it, because they want to give us more figures from Game of Thrones, that they just don't see retailers asking for it, and they don't want to just make them just to have them on their website. They're very excited about being in retailers, so they don't have any real intention of moving them forward. So Game of Thrones looks like it's going to be canceled as well. God, what were some of the what are some of the other ones that they had going for them? We had DC. It doesn't really matter. They are bringing back Spawn. Spawn is on its way. They will be making some 7-inch Spawn figures with the new articulation scheme. So especially because of the movie, they're very excited about the movie. So they're very excited to bring us back some Spawn figures.
Yeah,
so those
I've
are on the
been
way.
hearing about this movie for quite some time.
Yeah, apparently they have some announcements coming up later this year that they're excited about. But other than that, it doesn't look too crazy. But it does look like they are going to bring back Spawn figures. So those are on their way. Of course, they're going to continue with Fortnite because that's doing extremely well for everybody else. But that's really about it on the McFarlane update side when it comes to other lines that were continuing that people kind of asked about but didn't know anything more about. They've got stuff in the works. They just don't know what to kind of go with. But if we are talking about stuff that fans have been asking about that we're excited for, let's switch right on back to Hasbro for G.I. Joe. Jason,
you shut your mouth. This is my story.
Why do you think I saved it for last so we could both talk about it?
So, the Snake Eyes movie is starting its filming in Japan right now. We got to reveal the cast. Very excited.
So ready for G.I. Joe.
Snake Eyes. It's G.I. Joe Origins, and the first one is Snake Eyes. But with that, it's a movie line. People have been wanting G.I. Joes for quite some time, and nothing's been heard. They've been off the shelves for a while.
Man.
And I said, if they make 6-inch figures, oh boy, look out, because there is a rumored. This is a rumor. This is still strictly.
No, it's not a rumor anymore.
Since when?
It's
they have not officially confirmed this information.
They haven't. No, another retailer did, who apparently had the list.
Still not confirmation from Hasbro, which I fully expect. When is Toy Fair?
In about a month, though.
So the rumored it's G.I. Joe Classified is supposed to be the name of the line. Wave 1 will include Snake Eyes, Destro, Duke, Scarlet, and Roadblock. So I fully expect in February, towards the end of February, we will see this line at Toy Fair.
So the thing about these figures, from what I have been told, is that while those are what's supposed to come out,
who told you so?
Again, do you not read anything online anymore? Mister, you gave me a hard time about the My Hero Amazing Yamaguchi figures. I'm going to give you a hard time about G.I. Joes. Snake Eyes is coming 2 to a pack.
Yeah,
but apparently they're going to be 2 different versions of Snake Eyes. So what I can only guess is, if that's the case, they're either going to go movie version and classic version, or they might just do like a variant of one of them. But
here's what I do to y'all all the time. But hey, Jason, give me your money.
Yeah,
give me your money, Jason.
So you might be able to save some of your money, because I heard they were coming out 12-inch size and they're going to be flocked.
You're right. I will save some money by not buying those. So I mentioned this earlier, where I said that I had stopped collecting 3/4-inch figures. I used to own G.I. Joe 3/4-inch figures. Like
you saw, I got all of them.
I had tons of them, and I sold all of them because, they were taking up space. I didn't display 3/4-inch. It made me very sad, but it was a decision that I had to do. No, I didn't sell them. I gave them away to a battered women's shelter for kids. So they went on. That's
where a lot of my toys go.
Nice.
Yeah. So I either sell them or I give them away to kids that I feel like will actually appreciate them. So I gave mine away, and I was so sad because I really wanted 6-inch versions.
How'd
especially
you feel when you saw mine, by the way?
It brought a little joy to me because I miss having G.I. Joe figures. Like I didn't watch the cartoon or anything. I just owned the figures and I loved them. So having 6-inch, especially by Hasbro, makes me so excited because I will own all of them.
Now, see, the thing about G.I. Joe, and the appeal of G.I. Joe was always the vehicles. We are not going to get those vehicles.
No, we won't.
In a 6-inch scale. We're not going to get a Sky Striker. Look at me. You will not get a Sky Striker.
If Hasbro,
you won't get an Awe. You won't get a Hiss Tank. You might get some Pinto or Sled. A lot of the one-person vehicles,
Hasbro doesn't like to give vehicles for some reason. They like to give us those weird Marvel vehicle scooters, but that's just because they made them and then they keep giving us the same one.
Right.
But in cases like this, like we didn't even get Zords for the Power Rangers line. I don't think we're going to get vehicles for G.I. Joes.
Well, they released a Zord pack for Power Rangers.
For the Lightning Collection?
Did you? What?
That's what I'm talking about.
We got the Beast Morphers one, which no one's purchased. I don't know why I haven't. Something about it is not jumping out to me. But anyway, we'll move on. Back to G.I. Joe. You're not going to get those vehicles. And that was kind of the appeal of 3 3/4 inch figures. So I'm excited about a 6-inch G.I. Joe line. Are you texting me?
No, I'm definitely Googling Lightning Collection to see if Zords, because I'm pretty.
There's they're on the shelves in Target.
They're made by a different company. I don't think Hasbro made them, or Lightning Collection style.
I don't know, but they're Zords.
I mean, Zords exist for like the basic figures. That's what I'm.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let you Google that, and I'm gonna go to my Amazon wish list because I got it over there. But anyway, is that everything you're talking about this week?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. So while you search for verification online that he will not find by the end of the show, because the show's over. Bye. I can't have him have the satisfaction of finding this information.
Doesn't exist.
Anyway. So we did get some promotional images for the new Transformers Earthrise line. Somebody did find the Prime overseas, and it looks really good. We got promotional images for Cliffjumper, Starscream. The Starscream looks fantastic. Looking at the back of the figure and everything, just all around, that's the best figure out of that line. They looks like they really nailed it with Earthrise. We're going to see Grapple, Hoist, Wheeljack, and of course Prime. These are good-looking figures. They don't have that weathering crap that Siege had on them.
Which I didn't mind, but
I minded it.
Like I said, I stopped collecting the Transformers. Like, the next one I pick up will be Bumblebee, and that's it.
Well, then, casual. Get on out of here.
Okay, bye.
The other good one that I did see, there is a 112. I like Assassin's Creed.
I do.
There is a 112, or actually, it's a 1/6 scale Ezio figure. This is a good-looking figure. The comes with a number of accessories. He's got the golden apple, his sword, the retractable blades. The head sculpt is fantastic on this. It comes from a company called Damn Toys, which I love their name.
I have heard of them.
Love the name, but this figure looks really good. I gotta say, it's a mixture of cloth and solid goods, and I think it has the perfect mix of it because his cape is clearly cloth.
Yeah.
But man, other parts of this look like they're cloth, but when you look up close, it's clearly plastic.
Even I want this one. I miss owning Assassin's Creed figures. NECA did a really good job for a while, and then it just stopped.
For a company that I've never really heard of, and for me to see this is the first thing that I've seen from them, I'm impressed.
Is this 10-inch?
It is a 1/6 scale, so it's going to be, just about up there, between 10 and 11-inch scale. Oh, I see Bryce is making some considerations over there.
I'm just checking it out.
Man, Bryce, did you just pre-order that?
Like, who's selling this damn thing?
Hit 2 quantity real quick.
Okay, let me do that for you.
The other one I was real excited about is from LM Toys. They are making Joe and Ellie from God, why can't I think of the name of the game?
All That Remains?
It's not All That Remains.
The Last of Us.
The Last of Us. God.
I'm sorry.
I don't know why they're calling it All That Remains, by the way. But the Joe and Ellie figures, they're cloth goods. They are in the 1/12 scale, which, boom, you got my attention right away. The accessories these guys come with. Also, can we notice everyone seems to be stealing Mezco's kind of presentation on here's the figure and here's all the accessories it comes with. Not that it's a bad thing to do. It's a very good presentation.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
This Joe and Ellie looks so good.
The Joel, I want the Joel.
I mean, there's a massive amount of accessories. The watch is shown as an accessory. Is this removable or something?
I don't want to pay for it, though.
How much are they running, by the way?
You keep talking. I'll find out for you.
Okay, I didn't see how much. It was one of those like, wow, those look great. I'll probably see the price and go like, maybe not. The head sculpts look fantastic. Looks like they stepped off the video game. Like I said, I can't say enough about these figures. I know, Bryce, you don't like that 1/6 scale because it doesn't match up with things you do, but man,
they do look impressive. I am impressed with the head sculpts. I wonder if they use some of the same artists that Mezco employs.
they look fantastic.
They really are.
I predict these will come as a 2-pack, which I think they should, since they were, so prominent in the game. Then,
that makes sense.
So yeah, Joe and Ellie figures from L&M Toys. You've got my attention, guys.
Do you guys?
They are unofficial fan projects, so the names aren't correct either. If I'm not mistaken, it's ELLY, and they use JOL.
Oh,
so they're used by it's a company.
Is like my third party addiction here.
It's a company called Lim Toys. I don't think there is a price point yet. People are guessing about probably over 100.
These should be at NECA price point. I'm sorry. Already, you're unofficial. Okay.
Yeah, they're about, from people are guessing they're going to be around 80 plus.
Now I noticed
that's for the 2-pack.
I think individual.
Ooh, no, they didn't show these as a 2-pack.
Now I noticed it says summer version next to Ellie.
Yes, that is
right.
That is
in the game. No, in the game, you're with them throughout a complete year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a great. You've got a PlayStation.
Yes.
Even I own this game. I haven't played it though.
Oh, I
PlayStation 3.
PlayStation 3.
I think it was on 3. Yeah, it was on 3.
Yeah, you need to play this game. This is a great one.
Okay.
This is a great story.
Okay.
So yeah, that's did I get everything? I think I got everything I want to talk about as far as new releases. I did want to give an update on the Valiverse. Of course, they did have a successful Kickstarter. Bobby Vela, he is making these figures. His goals for some of the figures that people were wanting were a little bit higher, and those that have bought them, he has switched over to CrowdOx to, if you want to get some of these figures, and I think they will be in Big Bad Toy Store once they get a release. But right now, he's kind of like doing a mini Kickstarter for one of the most popular characters out there, Eclipse. So she is over the halfway point. Let me bring that graphic up. I believe she is at 20,000 of the 3,000. I'm sorry, she's at 20,000 of the 38,000 needed to produce this figure. She's still climbing. I know this was one of the figures that you wanted out of here. So I got to tell you, you're going to get one because I bought you one because I want this project funded. Now, if it doesn't get funded, that money's just going to come back to me.
That's just how it works,
you better hope. Because I was like, I want to support this. Because while we were talking about, everyone's talking about this rumored 6-inch G.I. Joe line. This guy is making a 6-inch soldier-oriented line. They look really good. He is doing a bit of retooling on some of the faces and everything before they go to production, but there's still time to get your orders in. I'll put a link to the CrowdOx page if you want to go and order some of these. They look fantastic, and you're getting 2 basically. So I'm a happy birthday.
To give you a small update for what I did find for the third party, does look like Joel and Ellie will be separate, or you can buy them as a double pack.
Okay, that'll be the only way I get these 2, because this was the game is it's necessary to get these.
No information on price yet.
I will patiently wait. And then my last bit of news. I hate both of you.
Okay.
Because you remember to bring this up, but we've talked about Lightning Collection. But there is a 9-inch Power Ranger figure line, and so far they have announced the Red Ranger. Well, actually, they've announced all 5.
Yes, they announced all 5, but they've only shown the Mighty Morphin
Red Ranger will be the first one up for sale. These are the Mighty Morphin. They are 9-inch scale. They have cloth goods, and they look fantastic.
Yeah, I'm passing. It does look good, but like I said,
removable helmets or no?
No, these are made by a company called Figureborn. The price point on these is $55 a piece,
which is not bad.
Considering it's a 9-inch cloth line. No, not bad. Also comes with a wired I don't know why they say it comes with a wired fabric cape. There are no capes in Power Rangers, okay? It's or
at least not these Power Rangers, okay?
Well, there are some. You get the figure, his custom power sword weapon. You get a blade blaster in 3 types, something we don't see in Lightning Collection.
Standard gun and the blade, yeah.
Blade, collapse, and blaster form. The Turbo Slinger, if you remember that weapon, it looks like a slingshot. I don't care about this, but they threw it in there, and interchangeable hands. Right now, looking at some of the...
Hey, Jason, give us your money.
You're not a Power Rangers fan if you're not going to collect.
Oh!
Wait, does that say Super Sentai coming soon?
He went there, but
I did.
These look fantastic. I don't know. 9-inch scale would take up a lot of real estate.
It's calling your name.
You shut up.
You got
No,
room.
right now you
got room
my name,
over there.
Okay, I don't.
It's true. You are adding more and more shelves to this area.
You've got room.
Just slow your roll, okay? I don't know where I'm at on this. But yeah, they went on and just like, oh, by the way, we're making all 5 from the original Mighty Morphin team. So, or Zoo Ranger for the true Super Sentai fans out there.
Season 3 alternate heads. So guys, I went ahead and got the new 9-inch Power Ranger line.
I don't see a date for release.
They are making that for Hasbro though. We forgot to mention that they're not making clotheslines, but they're making like 10-inch Power Ranger figures, that basic stuff, kind of like how we see with like the normal DC stuff around. They're doing that too.
Not like articulation.
Yeah, not that that's important, but I mean, if you want that like that, then you can have it like that.
Also, clearly, these are from a Japanese company. They are using the Super Sentai license for these because I'm pretty sure Hasbro would.
Oh, so what you're
swoop in on them like an owl on a rat.
So what you're saying is, if you're not a real Super Sentai fan, then
you suck.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, there you go.
Thank you. Nicely done.
Because if anybody was making these third-party, Hasbro would be like, hold up here. Here's a cease and desist. Let me just staple it to your forehead.
Hey, Jason, you never complimented me on my cup.
That's a nice cup, by the way. We looks like your hair got a little wet. So did mine. So
it's all dry now. It's fine.
Anyway, that's everything that's coming out. We've run over a little bit here. But yeah, that's the best stuff seen that's coming out this week. Anything else we want to cover tonight?
Yeah, still waiting for my apology for Laurie Strode.
Oh, it'll come.
NECA.
It'll be there. It's coming.
When is it coming?
You can officially see the true apology in a couple of weeks on a show called Nerds with Coffee, episode 5. We'll get there.
But anyway, yeah, it's good to be back. This is pretty much our road to the Nerd Christmas, and that is Toy Fair. Baby. I know you're mad we didn't get in. He tried to see if
I did try to sign us up for Toy Fair. The requirements to get in are ridiculous. We don't qualify, but it's fine. We've got a lot of other new stuff coming up that's demanding our attention anyway. So we'll get there one day.
I think as we gear up towards Toy Fair, we're going to start seeing a lot of things, kind of leaks and just little. We are officially 1 month, 3 days, 14 hours, and 32 minutes as of now from the recording on this Saturday.
Yeah,
so
very excited.
Have to do like a late Sunday, just so we get everything that comes out for Toy Fair.
We might just do like a little mini podcast version. I like to point out, season 2, this is the most dropped figures we've had in a while. That we just said screw it, just let it be. But
we got something for that. You got nice close-ups of all the figures. That was Bryce's idea. It was a good idea. I think it's a better presentation. So this is just the way things are over there. So anyway, well, that's it then. We'll be back in 2 more weeks. Go ahead, Bryce.
Well, I just want to make one more point as another figure drops.
I think you're just intentionally shaking the table.
I'm not.
No, I don't think we did. I'm just liking the fact, and I'm thinking about the future. You got a Star Trek Mego last year, and now you're getting a NECA Bob Ross. These are the same kind of figures. They're both retro cloth. You're building your retro cloth collection. So congratulations.
And then
I have praised several cloth figures on this show.
And you got the Super Sentai 9-inch coming.
They got me now.
So one day your retro cloth collection is going to be like a center.
Bryce, I need you to do me a favor and stop texting me at 4 a.m. saying get the cloth goods. And it's not going to work on me. You may have gotten to Jason. I'm the last man standing.
Hey, Jason,
all I need is time.
Give me your money.
Jason, come on.
All I need is time. That's all I need.
He He is infecting us slowly.
This is a good infection.
I own a 7-inch.
Whatever. Anyway, guys. So follow the Alternate Heads podcast. It's at Alternate Heads podcast on Instagram.
Alternate Heads podcast. We've been kind of lax with the Instagram post there lately, but we've been on break, so we're good. But we've got some other stuff that we want to point out before we give our normal stuff. Of course, you see this episode comes out on Tuesdays now, so instead of Mondays.
Shout outs. Oh my God.
I don't have anything.
Okay, we're gonna skip it this week. I'm sorry. But
we went over, but
yeah.
See, season 2 started, so because of that, this does now come out on Tuesday. So I think this is the 23rd. I'm not sure. Probably not. I got my dates wrong. No, but Super Cool Nerd Show does come back on Thursday.
The 23rd.
The 23rd.
Anime TV is unfortunately not coming back, but we do have a new show coming out February 3rd. Nerds with Coffee. It's a nice little different show that we've done that kind of breaks away from the norm that what we have.
It's very different.
It's a more game show related. We've been doing some extra episodes to kind of get us caught up, but they've been a lot of fun to record. Look forward to those. I think you'll really like them. Those will be every Monday and Friday, just in case you got tired of waiting for us for 2 weeks.
And we're getting everybody involved on this one too.
Nerds with Coffee. It's going to be great.
Yes, it will.
So in the meantime, if you want to follow us all personally, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at JasonTheX.
You can follow me I'm mainly active on Instagram, which is at the Near Plasma, or you can follow my comic line. I think it's Near Comics. You know, I've kind of brought that back.
You can follow me at Bryce Culver on Facebook and Instagram. And on Instagram, I have a toy page. It's called Trapdoor Toys. Check it out.
You can also find me on Instagram at the Good Cast and the Bad Cast. Just
God.
It's a bit of a trick, though. You want to follow the Good Cast one for the good, for the bad pictures, and you want to follow the Bad Cast one for the good pictures. All right, I'm going. See you later.
Well, that is it for us, guys. We will catch y'all in 2 weeks. And always stop and smell the plastic. I normally play the theme song at some point as we're closing out, so I'm going to go ahead and start that up now. So I kind of messed up on that one. I'm out of practice.
Season 2, baby.
Still waiting on my apology.
Let me turn the music
Laurie Strode.
And you'll hear it.
Bryce, I'm sorry you are a retrocloth collector.
No, you're not.
Get 6-inch.
No, you're not.
That's just rude. That was rude.
You're coming around.
You're a retro cloth collector.
You're coming around.
All right, that's it, boys.
Okay, so I didn't mention this during the show, but